In Taiwan, voters head to the polls tomorrow for presidential and parliamentary elections. The results will be as closely watched in Beijing and Washington as they will be in Taipei. China considers Taiwan a breakaway republic, and President Xi Jinping often speaks of reunification with the island. Nick Schifrin looks at the candidates and the stakes for tomorrow's vote.
Taiwan's election is cacophonous, colorful, and a little chaotic. It's also critical to the future of the region. The leading candidate is Lai Ching-te, known as William Lai, the current vice president from the Democratic Progressive Party, or DPP. He vows to continue Taiwan's current de facto independence and uses more moderate language about Taiwan's relationship with mainland China than he used to.
I will maintain the status quo and continue to bring society together. Our door will always be open to engagements with Beijing.
But the People's Republic of China, or PRC, appears to be keeping the door shut tight. Recent military exercises have helped deliver Beijing's election warning. There will be more tension, more satellite launches.
It is not the moon.
More balloons flying over Taiwan like the one that flew over the U.S. last year, if you choose William Lai. Wang Wenbin is the foreign ministry spokesman.
Lai Ching-te
clings stubbornly to the separatist position for Taiwan independence. He is a troublemaker through and through.
Sometimes people describe him as a pro-independence leader, but that's not really the position he's taking in this election.
Shelley Rigger is the faculty dean and professor of East Asian Studies at Davidson College. She spoke to us from a campaign office in Taipei.
His mandate, if he wins, is to maintain the current status quo across the Taiwan Strait, which is that Taiwan is a self-governing democratic entity that hasn't fully separated itself from its history as a Chinese place.
The main opposition candidate, Hou You-yi, is from the Kuomintang Party, or KMT, historically less antagonistic toward Beijing than the ruling DPP.
For the DPP, the path to preserving the status quo is to remain close to the U.S. For the KMT candidate, so Hou You-yi, Taiwan needs to engage with Beijing more actively in order to preserve its security and autonomy.
The election also features for the first time a third-party candidate, former Taipei Mayor Ko Wen-je, popular among younger voters.
He's not that different on the major policy areas. His position on cross-strait relations is a little bit hard to discern, but I think his appeal is that he's a new face. The PRC doesn't like any of these candidates, but they dislike Lai Ching-te the most.
That's led to what Taiwan calls Beijing's unprecedented election interference, including Lai deepfakes. That's the real Lai on the left, manipulated Lai on the right, and what the U.S. and Taiwan call disinformation about labs with dangerous viruses and bioweapons. Independent researchers have also found a campaign of fake online accounts disparaging Lai and promoting the KMT. Taipei accuses Beijing of cyber attacks, co-opting local officials, and increasing economic pressure.
China has intervened in every major Taiwanese election, but this time it is the most severe. It can be said that they are leaving no stone unturned.
So are you saying that the United States would come to Taiwan's defense if China attacked?
Yes, we have a commitment to do that.
Looming behind Taipei-Beijing relations is Washington's relationship with Beijing. The U.S. has expanded its military presence in the Pacific, especially in Japan and the Philippines, to bases closer to Taiwan. And the U.S. has worked to improve Taiwan's military. But the administration says its policy has not changed, including that Taiwan should not declare independence.
We maintain the agreement that there is a one China policy.
The PRC is really always worried about somehow losing Taiwan. And the thing that they worry about the most, honestly, is that the U.S. will encourage Taiwan or somehow give Taiwan a blank check to bust a move and do something that will force the PRC to respond militarily.
On New Year's Day, Chinese Communist Party General Secretary Xi Jinping reiterated his promise that Taiwan and Beijing will one day fly the same flag.
The reunification of China is a historic inevitability.
Of course, all politics are local. Voters have economic concerns and are exhausted of same-party rule.
Okay, and then my Taiwan-style pork chop. Did you get?
But Beijing is on their mind, and young Taiwanese are increasingly proud to identify themselves as from Taiwan, not China, with Taiwanese food.
Just to cook it all the way.
Taiwanese music, including by bands banned in mainland China, and perhaps most of all, Taiwanese democracy.
They are going to show with their votes their determination to sustain a democratic system and to preserve their freedom.
Democracy here is only 35 years old, but tomorrow the people of Taiwan will choose their next leader, something the people of mainland China are not able to do. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Nick Schifrin.